Man, it's been a fun few weeks, and let me back up and talk about all the cool things that have happened in my life and in our business in Inner Wealth Global, because there's been a lot going on, and we still have more to do for this year. Like we're not finished. All right, so back on August 19th, I launched my next book, my brand new book, and it's Inner World, Outer World, and that has we had a launch party that night, and we took a bunch of books with us. We took a good stack of books with us, and we sold out during that event. And it was friggin' awesome, and it was a lot of fun. And holy cow, like that event exceeded my expectations. Some of our closest friends, some family, some of our mastermind students, some people that just knew us from the public domain. They all came and just shared some time. Angie and Kara did a great job of just hosting that event and putting it together. And we had some sponsors. We had 6 awesome sponsors, and we served, food and drinks, and there was a beautiful cake because August 19th was also my birthday, and it was a lot of fun. And that was Tuesday, August 19th, and then on Friday and Saturday of that same week, we had a workshop, and it was an amazing workshop. We had around 25 people in the room, and I keep my workshops relatively small and relatively intimate because we do some really deep work together. And I don't want to, in this setting, not yet. I don't want a huge crowd, a huge audience. Just want a small little intimate group so that we can go deep and we can go hard. And I'll explain a little bit about that, in this episode. But we do some meditation and some mindfulness work, and it's a workshop, but it's beyond just talking and writing things down in a workbook. It's not just about teaching. It's there's exercises and there's meditative activity, and I lead meditations, and it really is a powerful event because we get to for people that have never experienced the deep work that we do in Inner Wealth Global. That's kind of like our entry point. But we had a great couple days. We got a couple more Inner Wealth Mastermind students to enroll and register from the Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive. And then not too much longer after, just a week or so, I flew down to New Orleans, and I got to hang out with my good friend, my dear friend, Josh Wilson, at his mastermind event. And what he put on an event. It's basically a business acquisitions event, and it was called Cash Flow and Cocktails. I almost lost the name of the event, but it was a great event, and I just went down there overnight. I flew out on a Thursday morning and flew back Friday morning. But anyway, it was a quick 24-hour turn. But I got to connect with some really deep friends of ours and old clients and existing clients in New Orleans. We've got a nice installed base of people that follow us and that support us and encourage us and that are part of our family and that we stay in lockstep with. So that's always a good time. And then I flew back, and just a couple days later, Angie and I flew out to Park City, Utah to host our Inner Wealth Mastermind retreat. And hopefully you listened to last week's podcast episode, and it was Angie hosted the podcast episode, but she had a guest on, and a guest was Kara Dossi. Kara Dossi's our operations assistant. She's amazing. And those two, Kara and Angie, are like sisters. And like they look, they act, and they behave in a sisterly way, and it's a lot of fun, and they have a lot of fun together. But these two really do host an amazing and magnificent retreat for our mastermind, for our Inner Wealth Mastermind students. And Angie and Kara put together the workshop and made sure that we had all of our accommodations taken care of. And in our retreat setting, they made sure we had this amazing 8-bedroom house that slept like 19 people. And it was nestled up in the mountains of the Rockies in Utah. And it was an amazing event. Holy cow, we had a lot of breakthroughs. And in that retreat, we do some of the same work we do in the workshop, but we do it at a deeper level. And I'm gonna dive into that a little bit. But coming up in October, I speak at a conference, and it's a local St. Louis conference called the Gateway to Freedom. And I've spoken there the last 2 years. This will be the 3rd year of its existence, and I've spoken there every time. The first year, I was the the keynote. I closed out the event. And last year I was asked to keynote it again, but Angie and I were flying out to the Turks and Caicos on the second day. So we spoke at the end of the VIP day on the first day, and that was a lot of fun. So this year I look forward to participating in the event again. If I'll put in this podcast show notes, I'll put the Gateway to Freedom information to make sure that if you're in the St. Louis metro area, or if you're outside the St. Louis metro area and you're looking to come in and get like a full day or two of real estate investment education and connection and networking, that you can access that. Also, I'll put that in the show notes. Gateway to Freedom. Last year, we had a speaker. Jamil Damji was who closed out the event, and it was awesome. So this year I look forward to. I believe that I'm the keynote again this year, but we'll see. I love starting out. I love kicking off events like that, and usually that's my sweet spot. But Rich Groves, the person the guy that puts on the event, he tells me he likes me to close it out, and so I love that too. I just want to support Rich, and he always supports me. But also, we have coming up starting October 13th, I've got a brand new 5-week virtual workshop. And 2 episodes ago, I released an episode talking about the five financial archetypes. And those archetypes are the debt dweller, the let's see, I'm struggling to remember the names. The debt dweller, the tightrope walker, the money or the margin manager, the stress success, and the money monk. Those 5 archetypes. And I'm releasing a 5-week virtual course called Monkify Your Money Game. And it's a play on the fact that highest level of financial archetype is a money monk. And what that means is you have lots of money and lots of wealth and lots of success and lots of material abundance, but you actually enjoy it. And that's the shift from the stressed success to the money monk. And my good friend Brian Schroeder, who's been on this podcast before a couple times, he is a money monk. So he's been my target when I look at what I want to create in my life. I'll look at Brian and see, not only does he have the wealth and the abundance and the success, he's got the peace that everyone wants because of the money and the wealth and the success. And I do know a whole lot of people who are in that category of the stress success, that they went from not having it to having it, and now they've shifted their stress level to not in attaining it, but in keeping it. So they're afraid of losing it, and that's the stress success. So that's starting October 13th, and on November 14th and 15th, I'm holding and hosting my next 2-day live intensive workshop called Choose Your Destiny. I do this just about quarterly, and it really is a great intro into working with the Inner Wealth Global team, getting to meet some mastermind students. There's always mastermind students here. There's always community members there, the Inner Wealth community. And come, if you're not familiar with the work, or you just want to do some really deep meditative exercises, come and participate in the Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive. I'll put all of the links to the Gateway to Freedom, to Monkify Your Money Game, and the Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive. I'll put all of the links in the show notes so that you can have access to those. And I'd love if you come and jammed with us and played with us a little bit. It's a lot of fun. But now, what I really wanted to talk about, now that I kind of set up all the activity that we have going on, what I've really been focused on, and back in August when it was August 22nd and 23rd when we had our Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive, I put together a path, and over the course of 2 days, I built teachings that continued to build on each other. And over 2 days, we did a lot of awesome work, but people, not only did they learn from me and my teachings and some of the somatic stuff, the somatic, I guess you could say, intellectual architecture about how your nervous system is capping your wealth and your success, how your nervous system is dictating your quality of life, how your nervous system is responsible for what you have in your life or what you don't have in your life. As I build this this intellectual architecture and help you understand that. I also I lead and guide 4 powerful meditations over the course of 2 days. Now, in the Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive, I can only go so far. It's a room, and what I mean by that is it's a room of people. Not everybody knows each other. Not everybody understands each other. Not everybody trusts each other. It doesn't feel, you're just, these are strangers that come together for 2 days. And that's why I have a good, I guess you could say a collaborative inner wealth mastermind presence in the room, is because these are the folks that are doing the work, that understand the work, and hopefully, by doing the work, they're putting other people at ease to do the work and building a sense of trust and a sense of establishing a sense of trust. But in these 2 days, I do 4 meditations, and the first meditation I do is called a body scan, and all it is building from the ground up. I take you through a scan of your body and feeling the energy in your body. And from, over the course of probably in the workshop, probably 10 to 15 minutes, I invite you to let go of all pressure, stress, and tension that's inside your body. And the purpose and the reason, the what, or the what is the body scan. It's we're gonna touch with your awareness. You're going to touch every part of your body, and that's the what. And the why is because you can change your internal state, your internal emotional state. You can let go of pressure, stress, and tension anytime you want, just by turning your attention inward and intending to rearrange the energy and choose higher. And in the course of this body scan, I help you understand how to do this. And I take, oftentimes this is the first exercise we do, and there's a little bit of stress in the room and uncertainty. And I walk somebody through a body scan. And oftentimes at the end of the body scan, when people are sharing, they're like, wow, I haven't felt this peaceful in a long time. And I said, well, who did that? And, and I always ask it, do you have more money in your bank account? Do you have a bigger house? Do you have, has your business grown? And the answer is no. But the inside of your body has shifted, has changed, you've rearranged energy, and you feel peace where you once might have felt some pressure, stress, and tension. Now you're feeling a sense of peace. So the what is the body scan. The why is so that you can recognize that you are the owner of what's happening in your body and your mind at any given time. Very purposeful. The second meditation that I do is a future embodiment meditation. And I take, we do some dreaming, and, you write down on a piece of paper what kind of your target is and what your vision is for what you want to create in your life. Then I'll put you in this deep meditative state, take you out 5-10 years. You pick the timeline, but I have you see your future, and I have you see your health and your wealth and your success and the impact that you have in the world. And I have you see this, and I have you visualize it. Then I drop you down into your body so you can feel that new future. And the what is the future embodiment meditation, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deliver you into your future in your mind and in your body so you can see it and so you can feel it, so you can start to get a higher level of clarity around the future that you're looking to create, so that you can start to see it and feel it. And the why is because our nervous system is built for our current level of circumstances. And by seeing and feeling higher level circumstances and expanded circumstances, our nervous system begins to expand to allow those new level of circumstances in, because that's what self-sabotage is you look to create higher level circumstances, but your nervous system can't handle them. So as soon as you experience those higher level circumstances, your nervous system sabotages them because it doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel familiar. And that's the only thing your nervous system is trying to deliver into your life, is familiarity of safety, or safety of familiarity. And it views anything that's not familiar as unsafe and as dangerous. So by expanding our nervous system before we experience these circumstances, not only will we invite it and allow it in, but we'll allow our body and our mind to hold it at the same time. Okay. And it brings, that exercise brings a lot of clarity into being. And the third exercise is called shadow work. And this is the one that nobody really, really enjoys. Not the first time anyway. And shadow work, I've done lots of episodes on shadow work, is getting into, there's something that you're scared of, there's something that you're avoiding, there's a feeling that you don't want to feel, there's a circumstance you don't want to experience. It could be the loss of a loved one, it could be going bankrupt, it could be losing everything, it could be being alone and being lonely, it could be some of these circumstances that you've been avoiding your whole life, and your whole life is built around this. And shadow work is getting into that event in your mind and in your body, and starting to feel it, so that we can release the stress and the pressure and the tension of all of the weight of that in our body. And I like to say that, in my left hand right now, I'm pretending to hold an orange, if you're watching this on video. And in my right hand, I've got a knife. And if you stick the knife in the orange and you wiggle the knife around a little bit and you pull the knife out, the juice starts to drip out. And shadow work is the recognition that when you see that experience in your mind that you don't want to experience, and you feel it in your body, you're not creating that emotion in your body. You're revealing it. It was already there. And all you're doing is learning and allowing to process, learning and allowing your body to process, so that there's less of it to build a life around. So as you do shadow work, avoiding outcomes, avoiding lower level outcomes becomes not as important. You shift from avoiding bankruptcy to creating wealth. And these two are not the same. The energy of avoiding bankruptcy and creating wealth are not the same. The energy of trying not to be alone and creating an awesome relationship with an aligned soulmate, these are two completely different energies. Creating success or impacting the world to try to have your ego stroked or your ego fed, or to feel some level of significance, is a lot different energy than just to impact the world because you're inspired to impact the world. In the former circumstances, that's survival mode. You're looking to rearrange and change an internal conflict instead of live an inspired life. And by doing shadow work, we can stop avoiding and start creating. We can stop trying to survive and create. And on the fourth exercise, I put all these together. We do a body scan, then we do some shadow work. So I deliver you into your shadow. We start to kind of scrape some of that lower level emotion away. And then I deliver you into your future. And now we're going to start to expand the nervous system so that your body can create, can allow, and can hold new circumstances. So it's like an energetic reset. These 2 days are an energetic reset. Now, we've got another workshop coming up, November 14th and 15th. And if you've never been to my workshop, get your ass to the workshop. If you've never done this work before, come and play with me, right? Come and hang out with me, and I'll lead you through these things. I've got a meditation bundle on my website. Some of those same meditations were recorded at a workshop or at a retreat. And some of those are live in action, but in the Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive, you're going to experience that with me leading in real time, live and in person. All right. And if that sounds awesome to you, if you want to come and play, I'm going to put the link to that, the next Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive, November 14th and 15th. Now, at the retreat, it's a whole different experience. And in this last retreat in Park City, I did the same exact four meditations, the same exact four. In fact, there were a good number of brand new Inner Wealth Mastermind students that had never been to a workshop. So I repeated the workshop in a retreat setting, but there was a difference. Everybody at the retreat knew each other. Everyone knew each other. So there was already a level of trust. There was already a level of understanding established. There was already a familiarity with each other, and there was already safety in the room as soon as we connected. And we got there on Wednesday. We got there on Thursday. We had a happy hour. No, I'm lying. Let me go back. We got there on Wednesday, and we had a little happy hour meet and greet because some people flew in from other parts of the country. We had a little happy hour meet and greet, had some food, had some appetizers, had some drinks, loosened up with each other. And then the next day, Thursday, when we hit it hard. And the trust that was already established in the room allowed everyone to get deeper into those exercises. And some of those exercises went from 10 to 15 minutes to 15 to 30 minutes or 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And the exercises, all four of those exercises, the body scan, the future embodiment work, the shadow work, and the final journey, they were all longer and they were all deeper. And especially the shadow work. The shadow work, literally, I've never seen so many tears in my life. And that's because of the safety. And that's because of the trust that had already built in the room and been established amongst the people. And when someone was grieving in shadow work and somebody was fearful in shadow work or feeling anxiety or feeling whatever, then, and they started to crack open, the rest of the room rallied around them to help them like feel loved and accepted and appreciated. And that just built the bond even more. And everybody man, it was a beautiful, beautiful dance of energy. That's the work that we do in the Inner Wealth Mastermind. That is the work. When I say that is the work is going inside of ourselves and rearranging our energy. I often say, if you give me like an hour in front of a room, I'll entertain you. You give me a couple days and I'll train you. And that's what I do in the workshop and a retreat, train. But if you are part of my ecosystem for a long period of time, then you and I will transform your life, because by doing this work, you reshape and reinvent yourself every single day. This is transformative work. This isn't growth-oriented work. This is transformative work. This is rebirthing the emotional system, the mental system, the self-concept of who you are. This is the rearranging of your nervous system so you experience life differently. That is the work of Inner Wealth Global. That is the work that we're here to do. And I'm already starting to get people that are reading Inner World, Outer World, that are signing up for. I've had people read Inner World, Outer World, and sign up for Monkify Your Money Game. I've had people Inner Wealth Blueprint. There have been people on my website. I offer something called the Inner Wealth Blueprint, and it's an astrology report that I've developed that help you understand what your ego. Yeah, what's shaping your ego? What's shaping your soul? What your soul is here to experience? The karmic cleanup that you're here to do on during your lifetime, and the energy of your vocation and the impact that you're here to make in the world. And that's called your Inner Wealth Blueprint. And I'm just by people reading the Inner World, Outer World, they're starting to connect to the website and start to be part of my life in these offerings, in these events, and in these products. And it's a really exciting time for me, really exciting time for us, because we're reshaping the world. Listen, I just wanted to catch up with you. If you haven't gone back and listened to last week's episode, which is Angie Kitko and Kara Dossi jamming about Kara's role in our business, and Kara actually doing the work, moving through grief, right? Doing the work. Actually, she's not just our operations assistant in terms of just being an admin. She's literally she does the work and she participates in everything that we do. And when we were in Park City, I looked over at Kara and she was crying and she was cracking open energetically, just like everybody else. Guys, there's a lot. We have a lot going on. We have a lot to offer. If any of this sounds interesting, and if you just want to have a conversation with me, if you want to have a conversation to see what is next for you and what is best for you to begin working with me or begin working with Inner Wealth Global, I'd love to have a conversation. My email is very simple, mike@innerwealthglobal.com. mike@innerwealthglobal.com. And the way to connect with me is always in the show notes. I'd love to have a conversation. If you don't know where to start, I'd love to have a conversation with you to see how we can get started, to see what's best for you, and to see how Inner Wealth Global can serve you. It's an exciting time for us. We've got a lot in the hopper and a lot coming up, and I look forward to working with as many of you as possible. But I just need you to lean in and tell me you're listening and show me your interest. Tell me your interest. And I'd love to walk shoulder to shoulder with any and all of you to see how we can make transformation happen in your life, rebirth happen in your life, so that you can experience a higher level of wealth, success, happiness, freedom, vitality, all of it, right? Impact. That's what we're here for. To lessen the impact of fear and anxiety in your life, to understand your purpose and your design at a deeper level, and to increase every single circumstance in your life. If any and all of that sounds good to you, lean in. I'd love to help you. I'm just one email away.